BMW IBSF Bobsleigh and Skeleton World Championships in St Moritz, and the teams competition featuring 18 two-athlete teams from a dozen nations, one female, one male slider, and a revolutionary new lit starting procedure. Among the favourites, Italy, with Valentina Margaglio, their female slider, one of their two teams. Valentina finished only 14th after 4 disappointing runs in the individual competition, and she had one chance to try and gather it all together. A good run from her to start the 2 legs for Italy 1. Her teammate was Amedeo Bagnis. A good response time from him. He claimed the individual silver medal in the Men's World Championships, and that put his team among the favourites. If he could repeat that form, they should be in with a shot at the podium. A good run from Bagnis. They comfortably pushed the Swiss athletes out of the box. They were only the 5th team on ice as we got down to China, the 12th duo to start. Xiaodan, who'd finished in 12th position in the women's race, the first to go. She would need to match Valentina Margaglio, because then her teammate, Yang Wengang, would have to beat the silver medalist. So giving him a 1400s advantage was a really good start to their competition. They'd been about the 5th ranked of our teams coming in here, so Yang Wengang up against Amedeo Bagnis knew that he had work to do. But before the midway point, their early advantage had gone. Bagnis's run had been superb, and the Chinese simply couldn't match it. Italy remained on top. Next team to the block, the second of the 2 British teams, Brogan Crowley, who finished 18th, and Craig Thompson, who was 100th out of the medals in the men's competition. For Brogan, a chance for redemption, and with a fast start and a really nice looking run, she seized it with both hands. In a head-to-head against Valentina Margaglio, who had finished 4 spots ahead of her, she thrashed her by 0.4 of a second. And that meant that Craig Thompson, on a brand new sled who was only 100th out of the medals in the men's competition, would have a cushion. He didn't need it. On a sled that he'd never raced before the St Moritz weekend, he was absolutely flying again. The 30-year-old, with a 4th best position in the men's competition, put his team into the leaders' box with a hope of a medal. They remained the leaders as their teammates Laura Dees and Matt Weston came to the line. Laura Dees, the Olympic bronze medalist in 2018 in women's skeleton, was back to something approaching her previous best in the women's competition, finishing in 9th. Before the midway point, she had taken the lead by just a whisker. So what would the newly crowned world champion do? Matt Weston made a good reaction to the lights and had a very quick start. It would turn out to be the fastest in the competition. But below horseshoe, 3 critical errors, robbing the sled of speed. It would be enough to put their teammates behind at the line. Was it enough for gold?
Not the best run, but we're winning.
GB remained 1-2 as we got to our final team. The first of the German duos had dropped by the wayside as we got to Suzanne Kreher, the women's gold medalist, teamed up with Christopher Groothair, a double world and Olympic champion. Kreher, as she had done in the singles competition, absolutely flew down the St Moritz ice. Whatever else was going on with their skeleton team, nothing affected her. She took the advantage, and it was up to Christopher Groothair to convert it. Groothair has not been in the best of form here in St Moritz, but in the final slide of the competition for the skeleton Olympic champion, he finally pulled it out of the bag, drawing level and clinching gold by 1300ths. Germany continue with their skeleton team gold run, their 3rd in a row. Great Britain taking the silver and the bronze, their first ever medals in the team's championship. The 2 individual world champions, Suzanne Kreher and Matt Weston, both on the team's podium.